Hi, I was asked how often I traveled when I worked at the IRS. I was actually a revenue agent, that is an auditor. Revenue officers, they do collections. But as far as travel, I had kind of different forms of travel. I traveled a couple of times out of state and was put up in a hotel for training. That was twice, and the first one was my first day on the job. I showed up in a different state for training, and that was for about 2.5 months. I got weekends off, and there was like a 1 week time period near the end where we went to our home office and got to meet all the people and our managers and work on our first cases, and then go back to training after we were introduced at our home base. About a year later, I went and traveled again for 3 weeks, I think, out of state to do more training. Those were the only out of states I did. I did 1 or 2 times I volunteered to do some audits that were on the other side of my state. So I drove and was put up in a hotel for like 1 night or 2 nights, depending how long I thought that the audit would go. And then I would drive back, and the rest would be kind of correspondence or over the phone. And then I was in the field, like day trips, meeting up and traveling, daily. We were supposed to be in the field most of the time, so that sometimes was 5 days a week, sometimes 2. It really depended on the schedule, people's availability, and what we needed to do. I do have colleagues who were put on projects out of state, and they would travel frequently and still do. It really just depends. And so they'd be gone, a third of the time. So it really just depends on what you're assigned to and what your actual job description is. Most revenue agents, just in the very basic definition, don't do a lot of out-of-state travel. However, if you specialize in certain areas, or you end up auditing like in the nonprofit area, and there's a lot less auditors covering a larger area, you may travel a lot. So it just really depends on the job and what you're assigned to do.